Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to part 3 of the Unit 5 exam review. This is over evidence of evolution. There are 5 main sources of evidence of evolution. The first one is the fossil record. The second is geographic distribution of living species, structural similarities of related life forms, chemical similarities in DNA, and embryology. Fossils are direct or indirect remnants of the past. So the fossil record provides evidence about the history of life on Earth. It also shows how different groups of organisms, including species, have changed over time. That life on Earth has changed. So the fossil record is not complete. There are gaps, but they are being filled as we speak. 99% of living species are now extinct. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So paleontologists determine the age of fossils using techniques, relative dating, and radioactive dating. In relative dating, the age of a fossil is determined by comparing its placement with that of fossils in other layers of rock. So we can determine by the layers, oldest being at the very bottom and then youngest being at the very top. In radioactive dating, scientists calculate the age of a sample based on the amount of remaining radioactive isotopes it contains. So they can use the concept of half-life to determine the original age by comparing what the current amount of substance has. Biogeography is the second piece of evidence. So similar but unrelated species exist. Similar animals in different locations were the product of different lines of evolutionary descent. Some animals on each continent live under similar ecological conditions. And they're exposed to similar pressures of natural selection. Thus, they have evolved certain striking features in common. So again, all of these guys, beaver, muskrat, uh, they all look very similar environments. So the third piece of evidence would be structural similarities of living things. We're going to take a look at 3: homologous structures, analogous structures, and vestigial structures. So when we're taking a look at homologous structures, researchers noticed that there are striking anatomical similarities among the body parts of animals with backbones. The arms of reptiles, wings of birds, and legs of mammals vary greatly in form and function, yet they all are constructed from the same basic bones. So with this type of structure, I always use the word to help me out. So homo means same, and I always put structure first in memorizing this. So structure, so same structure or similar structure, different functions. Okay, that's the definition for homologous structures. We notice that the frog leg, lizard arm, bird wing, human arm, they're similar structures, and then they definitely vary in their functions. One is to fly, one is to pick things up, one is to walk. So structures that have different mature forms in different organisms but develop from the same embryonic tissue, homologous structures. Same development, different function, right? Same structure, different function still works. So the chicken wing arm of a human is the comparison here. Same embryonic tissue development, but then they serve different functions. Diving into vestigial organs, these are organs that no longer serves a function in an organism. So these are traces of homologous structures, okay? Remnants of homologous structures. So here are some examples. Hip bones found in whales, okay? So again, boom, no function there, y'all. No function whatsoever. The eye bulbs of blind cave-dwelling creatures such as the grotto salamander. No eyes, only an eye bulb. And then the human coccus, so the tailbone. Lost original function of a tail, but now serves as places for bones to attach. Now we have analogous structures. So structures that evolve separately to perform similar function. So again, when we see analogous or homologous, if you don't remember, always fill in the um, structure first, and then function. And then take a look at the root. Since it's not homo, we know that analog must be different structure, same function. So we see here very different than pterodactyl, bird, and bat wings. Okay, but what do all these wings have in common? They are meant to fly. Here's an additional example. We have the shark fin, the wing of the penguin, and the flipper of a dolphin. They're all used to support swimming. The fourth evidence of evolution is the chemical similarities. All of the tens of thousands of types of proteins in living things are made up of only 20 kinds of amino acids. Despite the great diversity of life on our planet, the simple language of the DNA code is the same for all living things. So this must mean we all come from a common ancestor. All life here on Earth comes from a common ancestor. So the more closely related two species are, the more amino acid sequence similarities should be seen. And we can see this with a cladogram as well. Okay, so again, we compare the similarities and then where these traits branch off. Okay, so again, we have the closest similarity with the humans would be the chimpanzee since it branches off here. Then the next would be the gorilla with the human or chimpanzee, and then the orangutan. Okay, try to guess which embryo these are. Can you do it? Can you? Boom, I bet you couldn't. So here's the answer key. Similarities in embryology. So the early stages or embryos of many animals with backbones are very similar. We can't tell which one is which. Look at this human versus the reptile versus the bird and then the fish. Many embryos look especially similar during early stages of development. The same groups of embryonic cells develop in the same order and in similar patterns to produce the tissues and organs of all vertebrates. So that's the final piece of evidence, y'all. Looking forward to seeing y'all in the part 4 video. So have a good one.